the software. Or if you clear the ownership, the key that we talk about, the AIK, that is used for attestation, that's gone. If you clear the TPM, that AIK is gone. Whatever that AIK or other keys of TPM they were useful for are they're no longer useful. You probably destroyed half of the secure encrypted data of that system. It's as easy as that. But what happens is you need to know the supervisor password. If you don't know the supervisor password, then this is a very difficult attack.
प्रेजेंटिंग पार्टी होगी वो किस तरह का जब यहाँ पे लिस्ट नहीं होगा तो वो वहाँ पे किस तरह से
Exactly, they're not going to be able to do anything. If you disable a TPM, from the BIOS, then it's exactly the same as there being no TPM. It's an opt-in situation. The DCG was they were blamed a lot for privacy issues. Because as you can see that if you send the code and the SML, then that the challenging party is going to know each and every software that you loaded on your system. So that's a major privacy concern. And they were blamed for promoting this anti-privacy thing. And therefore they included this in their own design goals that the TPM is going to be opt-in. If you do not want to be attested remotely, then you can disable it. That is up to the server side or the challenger then, whether they want to give you their own services or resources or not. That is up to them then. It is your decision whether you want to be attested or not. And it is their decision whether they want to give the resource to a platform that does not want to be attested. So it's basically a situation in which each party has control over their own decisions. So if you disable a TPM, then yes, the challenger cannot do anything.
सर स्टार्ट में आपने वो मेडिकल केयर सिस्टम का एग्जांपल दिया, इसमें हम एक जो मेडिकल केयर सिस्टम में डॉक्टर के पास पेशेंट का रिकॉर्ड होता है, ठीक है, और हम वो फॉर एग्जाम्पल वो उसको देता है मेडिकल टेक्नोलॉजिस्ट को, वो उसको ट्रस्ट करता है, जो है वगैरह है वो ठीक है, लेकिन जब वो उसको देता है तो उससे पहले तो वो ठीक है, वो ट्रस्ट होता है, लेकिन उसमें प्रॉब्लम ये है कि अगर इसके बाद वो किसी और को दे रहे तो वो उसमें प्रॉब्लम आ सकता है कि हम ह्यूमन की बिहेवियर को हम मशीन के साथ वो एसोसिएट नहीं कर सकते.
Yes, there are two questions there. Number one, if at one point in time a system is trusted, for example, if we can say 100% assurance that yes, it is trusted, we cannot talk about the future. One important design decision of the model testing that we need to remember here is that we only predicting, right? We are predicting that over this past 5 years, this platform has been trusted. It has not done anything wrong. Then most probably in the future it's going to continue with that. That is one part of the question. But we need dynamic behavior. We can actually see what that system is doing with our resource at runtime, while it is doing it. Then we can probably control the behavior, the malicious behavior. For example, if we are measuring the behavior of the system as it is using our electronic health record, and it starts to do something wrong, then we can probably revoke that resource. We can make that resource unusable. That can be a way. But in IMA, that is not possible. One part. Second part, human intervention or the human aspect of this whole system. That up till now has not been a concern of remote attestation and trusted computing both. Right? If, for example, you can, they are called analog attacks. If you take a camera and you take a snapshot of the electronic health record, then there is no way of protecting that. Or, for example, if you get print screen and you get a printout of that, even if taking a print was not allowed to you can get a printout. There are other ways. But we're talking about the behavior of applications, not humans. The systems. Right? Trusted computing is concerned mostly with that. There may be some way of incorporating that, but that would be up to you guys. You actually incorporate that. So that can be something for people who are actually working with human aspects of security, social aspects of how trusted computing actually fits into this larger environment. that was studied a little bit in DF or DT, but not in the video.
इसमें जो हमारे पास मेजरमेंट लिस्ट होता है तो वो उसको मेरे ख्याल में एजेंट होता है उसको गेम में डालता है उसको स्टोर करता है तो वो अगर उसको वो हर गेम को लेके ना उसको बस डिस्काउंट कर दे और सही कैश को उसमें डाल दे उसको पता है
that is another attack, resetting the PCR, right? But the thing is, if you reset the PCR value goes to 0. And yes, you can take completely bogus values and put them in PCR aspect. Yes, you can do that. But reset PCR is restricted to, it has several restrictions which basically make it impossible for a software to actually do that. You cannot reset the PCR using a simple application or using the kernel. There are certain handles of it that protect. You cannot just reset the PCR at that time.
reset reset में बात नहीं कर रहा वो जो measurement list है ना तो वो उसको ले लेना
just the measurement list.
हाँ
right.
और उसकी जगह सही है नहीं और उसका तो है
but the thing is then that SML will not be verified by the PCR. If you change it, for example, this was a bad hash 2 and you change it to a good hash 3, then that the result, the final PCR10 value with that 2 will be different from this 3. And therefore the whole SML will be unperfect.
नहीं सर तो इस लिस्ट को जो PCR को देगा तो वो एजेंट भी देगा ना तो उस एजेंट को हम ट्रस्ट
the PCR is that is actually a very good question. The agent is the kernel, right? Agent is the kernel in this scenario. That is clear. When the kernel is loaded, that goes to the boot aggregate, right? Now the boot aggregate has already gone into the PCR. That's already in PCR 10. That cannot be changed, right? Agreed. Now, if the kernel was not good, if it was not a known good hash, only then can it be malicious, right? You cannot have a good kernel hash acting maliciously, as far as I am concerned, right? It is possible. It's been proven in TCA. There was a paper that showed that you have the same piece of code which can act maliciously in one situation and act perfectly well in another. Right? That was proven in the TCA and in another paper earlier on. But as far as I am concerned, when you have the kernel loaded, before the kernel is loaded, that the measurement of that kernel goes into PCR. That cannot be revoked from that point, right? That cannot be changed. Now, the hash of the kernel itself has gone into the PCR. The kernel cannot change that value. It cannot change the history, right? Whatever else it does after this, that effect is already in there, right? So, you cannot trust the kernel. And if you cannot trust the kernel, then everything that comes after the kernel is useless. And therefore, the whole SML is useless. That is a very good question because you come to know that once something is loaded, it cannot change its own history. It cannot hide itself. It can hide everything else after this, after it is loaded. But it cannot hide its own maliciousness. That is the core concept of